Hello everyone. Here we will learn about Max Weber. He's a German philosopher, or German you can say sociologist. He born in 1864 and died in 1920. And his actually main theme, he did work on social action. The main unit in his point of view is that society is formed with social action. And he said social action is interpretative understanding. Social action is interpretative understanding means subjective. I will make you understand after some time. He said sociology is the study of social action, and interpretative understanding of social action is sociology. And interpretative understanding means subjective meaning. If an actor is doing anything, he think and he best think about himself or herself, that whatever he is doing, what is his goal, means what is his motivation. German sociologist, political economist Max Weber was born in a well-to-do family, received excellent training in law and economics. Max Weber stands as one of the central figures of social science in general, sociological theory in particular. Max Weber was born at Erfurt, Germany on April 21st, 1864 in a middle-class Protestant family. His father was a well-known politician who played a minor role in his upbringing. Weber's mother had major contribution throughout his life. So, here we will see the main contribution and methodology of Karl Marx, that is ideal type and Verstehen. We would understand about the ideal type as well as Verstehen. Verstehen is that whatever I am telling you, social action, interpretative social action means subjective meaning, what an actor is understanding about the goal. That is one of the most important concepts given by Weber to sociology is the concept of ideal type. This concept occupies a very important place in his methodology. In methodology, it is known typological analysis. Ideal type is concerned with categorizing process, enabling the scientist to contrast actual type with their common ideals, whereas the former types were limited to the historical circumstances. The ideal type was, explained Larson, an attempt to deal with the problem of the historical relativity of conceptual type by means of the construction of a limited number of terms which could be used as a contrast or the constant generalizable of abstraction. Actually, ideal type is a comparative study and classified study of any subject. Max Weber actually studied authority on the basis of ideal type. Max Weber studied a social action on the basis of ideal type. Ideal type is methodology, as we know. Authority, there are three kinds of authority, that is traditional, charismatic and rational legal authority. And he make the comparison in this ideal type. In the same way, so social action, he defined social action, classified four types of social action, and he compare all kind of all type of social action. Actually, to make a comparison or classification, it is the method of science, and this is actually the concept of ideal type. And characteristics of ideal types are subjective. Ideal types are The ideal type of subjective in character, the subjective nature of these types marks them off from physical laws. Subjective means physical event or process are objective, whereas social laws cannot be objective. So it is the relationship or actions and behavior of human behavior is subjective in nature. So that is why ideal type is subjective. Ideal types are emotional also, because there are authority, there are based on tradition, there are action based on emotion. So here ideal type in comparative study based on ideal types are changeable in nature, purely human construction, therefore subject the consideration of time, place and its effect. It is changeable kind of ideal type. So ideal type of historical particulars which refers to a specified historical realities, ideal type which refers to historical cultural context, realities that are observable in variety of historical cultural context, and ideal type that constitute the rationalizing construction of a particular kind of behavior. So ideal type of that is traditional, that is emotional, and ideal type of that is some thesis rational, you can understand. These are the kind of ideal type. And there are three general kind of systematic procedure of instituting a proof: experimental method, a statistical method, and comparative method. Is the logic of method is the same in all three methods. These subdistinctions arise in terms of degree of precision of this theory and the amount of kind and control possible over the data to which theory is addressed. Comparison is an act intended to establish in terms of empirical knowledge about which one is uncertain. So, ideal type are not a stereotype, average or abstract concept. To quote Martindale, an ideal type is formed by the one-sided accentuation of one or more point of view and by the synthesis of a great many diffuse, discrete individual phenomena which are arranged according to these one-sided emphasized viewpoint into a unified analytical construct. In this conceptually purity, this mental construct cannot be found anywhere in reality. Verstehen. Here is another methodology. Verstehen is the key concept approach of Weber's methodology also. Verstehen, German word which means understanding. Understanding, the Verstehen thesis is based on the idea that meaning precedes action. In fact, we cannot act unless we knew the meaning of other act. The meaning, Weber thought, constitute a positive basis. To make distinction between the nature and social science, Weber used the term in the context of a theory of social action. Weber believed that sociologists had an advantage over natural scientists. In the natural science, we can only observe uniformity and deduce generalization. But here in social science, there is subjective meaning. If suppose someone is studying, but we can think why he is studying. The purpose of a study is different for all the students. So, the purpose of a study for a student, for getting job, for other student, for getting marriage, for other student, for higher status, means the understanding is different. So, this is Verstehen. Through this passage, we can say the Weber methodology cannot concept Verstehen is based on the real experience of the individual in a situation. Hence, Weberian approach is very much related to the fact that natural scientists understand the natural phenomena from outside the situation, while social scientists understand the social phenomena through participation in the situation. So it is subjective meaning, means whatever actor think about that action and what he want to make goal, why he want to achieve the goal, the purpose behind it, what? Theory of social action. Here we will discuss in brief theory of social action about Max Weber. You should know. There are other scientists, Parsons, Pareto, are also studied social action. Weber's theory of social action is related to his methodological approach. Weber first developed the theory of social action in economy and society, which he wrote in 1918 and 1920. The theory of social action proposed by Weber eventually embraced the question of meaningful social action. Weber talked about the meaningful social action and attempted to incorporate the relevance of values in a theory of human action. In fact, Weber's theory of action is product of the modern state. So, in the background of the theory of action, Weber made two fundamental points. First, sociology must concern itself the interpretation of social action, and second, that it must devise a social theory of values. Action may be defined as the body of social theory devised by him in order to make valid judgment about the inner state. By inner state, Weber was referring to the capacity of the actor to choose between the means end of action and exercise rational choice. Weber's theory of social action involves four central concepts. The concept of social action is the center for all social idea of Max Weber. According to him, all social concepts hang upon the central conception of social action. Max Weber observed that social action is the action of an individual which somehow influenced by the action and behavior of other person. Influence is most important. It is clear that the term social action will mean the action of individuals which are somehow influenced, guided or determined by action of other individuals, pointing out the importance of sociology's ability to grasp the subjective quality of human. Weber. Characteristic of social action, you must remember, influenced by an action of past, present or future. It should be now quite obvious to reader to understand a social action must be related with past, present or future. Suppose if someone is doing graduation, if you are doing graduation because you did pass 10 plus 2 in the past, you want to become graduate because in future you want to be graduate. That is why you are doing graduation. So these are connected with each other. The presuppose the existence of other individual and some action by him. Social action is a result of some action by some individual whose action in turn result in an action by some other individual. So, necessity of subjective meaning, it is very important. I have already discussed it. The subjective meaning, why a person want to do anything. Suppose a person want to become IAS for social services. A person want to become IAS for gaining money. A person want to become IAS for getting higher status. What is the meaning of the subjective meaning? What is the purpose of the actor? This is subjective meaning. Sociology and social action. So, without social action is the unit of study of sociology. Without social action, we could not understand sociology. in terms of Max Weber, Parsons and Pareto. Social action is the interpretative understanding. Sociology is interpretative understanding of social action. So there must be social action. And what is social action? If we are influenced by each other and interact, then social action happen. And for social action, what Parsons says? Parsons says there must be actor, goal, and situation. This creates the social action. So classified of social action. Max Weber has classified social action into 4 types. Zweck rational, in German language, word rational, and effectual action and traditional. Zweck rational is logical action, and word rational is emotional action, effectual act, traditional action. Effectual action is emotional action, traditional action is traditional action. This is purely rational action. Zweck rational, that is rational action. It means that the actor who is fully conscious of his ends select the appropriate means toward the attainment of his goal. Meaning of means and goal, and to get the result. What rational action? The second one is what rational, in which the act is governed by values, that is related with values. Here logical refers more to means than to end, because they may or may not be true. Religious behavior, in which people engage in number of activities for the achievement of certain thing, typically example of kind of social action, that is the related with value. You must understand, it's always been asked in UGC NET also. Effectual action, that is the emotional action. The mother take care of his children. Traditional action, it is 4th kind of action, that is performed merely because it has always been done. All customs, folkways, mores belong to this category. We respect to elders in society on the basis of traditional action. So, Weber broadly classified the above 4 kind into rational, irrational typologies. The classification, however, is not mutually exclusive, because a particular action may fall into both the above categories. Marginal senses are not uncommon in sociological knowledge. However, the typology of social action propounded by the Weber have been the brains of not action as such, but that of ideal type analysis. So here I would like to conclude that these all 4 kind of action, Zweck rational, word rational, effectual and traditional action, these are the ideal type and comparative study of action according to Max Weber. So you have to understand the concept of action. Action should be subjective. Action should be subjective meaning. Action, there should be influence, and action is related with present, past and future. These are the main points related with social action. We will discuss about authority, and we will come to know what are the differences between power and authority. And so first of all, we should come to know what is power. And actually power is the capability to do work, and power and authority is related to each other. The legitimate power is authority, or you can say a power that is sanctioned by any authority, any government, or the power that is institutionalized, that is called authority. Power that is institutionalized by some government or authority. Therefore, the various form of legitimate power will be the various form of authority. So, authority is based on legitimate power. According to Weber, authority determines the social action and the social organization. So, this is the main reason that we study authority in sociology, because it is the determinant of social action. If you are suppose there are person in society, they have power, and they have many kind of power, maybe traditional power, maybe logical rational power or authority. So their action is changed with reference of power. Here Weber mentioned three kind of authority, means three kind of legitimate power. First one is traditional authority, and second one is rational authority, and third one is charismatic authority. In this authority, traditional authority rests on the belief of the social order and prerogative based on tradition. Traditional authority is completely based on tradition. Suppose in Indian society, a Brahman has authority, that is tradition, on the basis of tradition. The man command is ruling over obedient and as the Lord who exercise their control and power over obedient. These people obey the Lord due to the traditional authority. And if you are respecting a father in the family have power or authority on the basis of tradition. And so Weber mentioned that tradition privilege feudal or patrimonial bond of elegance and status, honor, goodwill regulate the web of interrelation within the structure of traditional authority. So feudal patrimonial bonds is the most important, and patriarchalism and all state rule based upon more or less stable appropriation of administrative power. Here we will discuss about charismatic authority is the capability of a person in a short moment he makes a confident in the people, and this is magical abilities, a revelation of heroism, power of the mind and speech, that is charisma. And such types of people have charismatic authority. Suppose Mahatma Gandhi, who have got in a very short time of period a charismatic acceptance of society, and that is called authority. People accepted his power. So throughout the age, charismatic authority exercised by certain saint, prophet, warriors, hero, philosophers, orators, scientists, politicians and ruler have held sway over men. This is charisma. Weber used the word charisma in a completely value neutral sense. He explained that the charismatic person has to prove that he has been sent by the grace of God by performing miracle and being successful in scoring the good living for his followers or subjects, as was done by Moses of the biblical fame, the great law giver of the Jews, and many of prophets like Jesus and Muhammad, and in India, Ram has the authority, and Krishna. So the process through which it happens, a reutilization of charisma, traditionalization of the order, the charismatic staff of disciples or followers changes into a legal or a state-like staff. The meaning of charisma itself may undergo a change sometime. And last is the third one is the rational legal authority. And this authority is best type of authority represented by bureaucracy. And in the modern age, such types of authority is all over the world. The governing body which enacts such law or rules is either collected or appointed and constitute what are known as a rational organization. Suppose if a judge has power, and that power has been given by the authority, that power has been given, sanctioned power, that is legitimate power, the power of judge or power of principal or power of SP, that is authority, that is given by the society with modern law. That a person is going through a competitive examination, qualify IAS, and got the authority. That is completely on the basis of rational legal authority. So it should be noted that the crucial difference between charismatic authority and both of the other two types of authority is that the former is unstable. This is because the source and carrier of charismatic shame, and therefore it continues so long as it succeeds once. Cure of such authority icons and loss of legitimacy due to loss of legitimacy, a way out of this nation. Says Weber, the reutilization of charisma, by which he means the transformation of charismatic authority as far as possible into the other two types of authority by process of reutilization to maintain its continuity. So reutilization of charisma is important. Here we will discuss sociology of religion, and you can say Protestant ethic and spirit of capitalism in brief. Max Weber is multi-dimensional thinker and and in opposite to contrast to the Karl Marx was one-dimensional. And Max Weber is multidimensional. Karl Marx accepts the economy is the only determinant for all: religious aspect, political aspect, culture, religion, education. But Max Weber says that the economy is not only the determinant, it is idea, it is religion, it is thought, it is culture, also determinism of economic development. It is not only economy which determines the culture, rather culture or idea or belief and action all are determinants for economic development. In this, so Max Weber developed his sociology of religion in his book Protestant Ethic and Spirit of Capitalism. So he did not accept economic determinism of Karl Marx. The economic factor, according to Weber, was, as Abraham puts it, one variable, relationship with other, affected by them. In fact, it in turn can affect them. Weber started investigation into religion due to his analysis. Protestant community, nothing that they were the chief captain of industry. He wanted to find out the relation between Protestant and capitalism. He also analyzed the relation of religion of India, China, relation of India, China, Middle East, capitalism. So Weber, profound scholar of scientific method, and carefully avoided all single factor theories. His methodological principle in sociology of religions are: religion and economic phenomena are interrelated and interdependent. Any one-sided approach is insufficient and hence misleading. We must not be misled by such particularistic fallacy. But methodology, it is possible for us to take any of these factors as a variable. Any of these factors as a variable. And accordingly, Max Weber take the religious factor as a variable. He studies the ideal type. Ideal type means comparative study of 6 religions. Weber, to prove his theory, select the economic ethic of 6 famous religions of the world: Confucianism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. An analysis the nature of economic ethic of each of them, with its effects on economic and social organization of people following that religion. The best known part of this work is a study of relation between certain form of Protestant and capitalism. So, here we will discuss about the religion and economics, how Protestant religion affected the economics. Weber chose to take practical ethics of religion as the basis for a study of influence upon economic system. In this context, he chose to study in detail the practical ethics of Protestantism and its influence on growth of capitalism. So we must know what is Protestantism. Weber has studied Islam, Judaism, economic ethics of Confucianism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam and Judaism with reference to the economic social organization of people following these religions. However, his most famous work is the detailed discussion of relation between economic ethic and Protestantism and the development of capitalism. So we find that the tenets of sociology of religion, Weber's main principle or tenets in sociology of religion are followed. Religion and economic phenomena are interdependent. Neither religion nor economic factor alone can adequately describe of social life. It is, however, possible to study social life by considering other religion or economic system as a variable. So, only economy is not variable, religion can be the variable. Now we will see the impact of Protestantism and capitalism. Weber's work, The Protestant Ethic and Spirit of Capitalism, based upon the following 2 general observations. Great material achievement have resulted from the work of monastic orders, and specifically ascetic Protestant sect were noted for their economic success. Therefore, Weber projected a hypothesis. There appeared to be a paradoxically positive relation between ascetic religious belief and economic enterprise. The hypothesis was checked by Weber in his book. For this purpose, he first of all fixed the ideal type of Protestant ethic on the one hand, and capitalism, values, and belief system that make up a religious ideal. So, capitalism is that complex activity designed specifically to maximize profit through the careful and international exercise of rational organization and management of production. In his inquiry about the first ideal type, Weber identified following values which were in harmony with the spirit of capitalism: shift from ritualistic and other worldly orientation down to earth pragmatism, change attitude to our work, concept of calling. Protestants asked men to seek gainful enterprise and accumulate wealth. New attitude toward the collection of interest on loan. Catholicism was against collection of interest on loan. However, in 1545, Calvinism sanctioned collection of interest on loan. This encouraged establishment of lending houses, new investment, and new floating capital. Strictures on alcoholism, encouragement of literacy and learning, rejection of holidays, asceticism. Protestant ethic asked people to accumulate capital but not to use it for enjoyment. So, in order to prove how religion contributes to an economic system, Max Weber analyzed Hindu religion. Capitalism could not flourish in India because Hindu morality has disregard for this world. Hinduism considers the world to be an illusory phenomena. Moreover, casteism is also a hindrance to the growth of capitalism. Thus, we find the importance of religion in the determination of an economic system. In China, also, capitalism did not flourish because the religious atmosphere of China was not conducive to the development of capitalism. Thus, Chinese religion emphasized the quiet life and did not encourage material property. So, Protestant ethics of Protestant religion increases the capitalism. So, these are the theory, these are the facts and ideal type of Max Weber: shift from ritualistic to otherworldly orientation, to down-to-earth pragmatism, change attitude to our work, concept of calling, new attitude to our collection of interest on loan, strictures on alcoholism, encouragement of literacy and learning, rejection of holidays, asceticism. Rationality. Here we will discuss in a very short manner what is rationality. Weber's concept of rationality and rationalization are central to his theoretical, conceptual and methodological writing. He used these concepts with reference to Protestantism, capitalism, bureaucracy, social action, and ideal type construction. He also discussed the nation of rationality in sociological investigation and value-free sociology. Rationality refers to those ideas or behavior which are logically coherent and consistent and amenable to empirical knowledge. Rationalization refers to the process whereby rationality is applied to various aspects and activities of life. So, here we can understand that Weber discussed 4 types of rational work: formal, substantive, practical, and theoretical. In his study of social action, Weber discussed about the rational action. What is there? That rational action or legal action, we can say, is the action that has been provided by legitimate action that is provided by government, that is provided by bureaucratic system, and that is logical, that is scientific, that is not based on tradition, that is not based on religion, that is based on high production, that is based on industrialization, that is formal. So this is formal rationality. Most important type of, according to Weber, is formal rationality. It involves means end calculation. You can understand. There is consistency between means and ends, means and goals, whatever you are acting, whatever a person is acting. And there is substantive rationality. A second form of rationality, direct order action to pattern through cluster of values. It focus on values. So Weber used this term to refer the degree to which action is shaped by an orientation to value, regard of nature of the end of the outcome of action. So value is more value oriented. And practical rationality, a third form of rationality discussed by Weber, is practical rationality. Kohlberg defined practical rationality: every way of life that views, judge worldly activity in a relation to the individual purely pragmatic and egoistic interest. And fourth one, theoretical rationality. The last or fourth type of rationality according to Weber is theoretical rational. Theoretical rationality involves a cognitive effort to master reality through increasingly abstract concept rather than through action. So this is completely theoretical. And addition, differentiating among four types of rationality, Kohlberg also deal with it from perspective of methodical way of life. And finally, subjugation of practical rationality lead to the development of formal rationality due to enormous emphasis on method ways of life. And Weber also discussed about bureaucracy. Max Weber discussed in detail the concept of bureaucracy, what are the characteristics, and he has taken the ideal type of bureaucracy in characteristics, and he sees what is bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is an administrative organization in which the distribution of and classification of the power is a particular kind. Bureaucratization is the result of emergence of rational on large scale. As Weber puts it, once it's fully establishing, bureaucracy is among these social structures which are the hardest to destroy. Here, a form of power relation is established that is particularly an unsubscribed functional way features of bureaucracy we will see in a short. Hierarchy of position. Impersonal rules. There is impersonal rule in bureaucracy, and clear and specified function of everyone. Someone is high and someone is low in rank. Rules of control. There is rule for controlling this. They imply separation between administrators or owners. Lack of monopoly in bureaucracy. Written rules or decision and commands are there in bureaucracy. Expert trainings. Technical competence is needed for bureaucracy. And full-time vocation. Selection in bureaucracy, appointment are made not by election but by selection based upon definite rule specified. Pecuniary benefits, and these are the characteristics of bureaucracy. So, thank you. All the best. I think you have understood everything in a proper manner, and thank you.